You're listening to Beyond Insights, your go-to podcast for all things accounting, business, and technology.
From cybersecurity and AI innovations to sustainability and work-life balance, we've got you covered.
We host insightful guests from different backgrounds, industries, and locations all around the world.
From this diversity of thought, we aim to find solutions to some of our most pressing business problems.
Thank you for tuning in. Let's dive right in and go beyond insights.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to Beyond Insights. My name is Jamie Bezednote, a customer success manager at Sift Analytics, and today I am joined by Ben Brophy. Ben is a senior client manager at Ad Valorem, so a very big welcome to you, Ben. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, pleasure.
Just a bit of an intro to Ad Valorem and where you work, and then we can jump into you telling us a bit more about yourself and what you do on a daily basis before we jump into today's topic, which centers on innovation and collaboration. So really excited to be chatting to you today. Thanks so much for joining us. Ad Valorem is an award-winning accountancy firm based in Milton Keynes and Cambridgeshire in the UK, and they help clients in all aspects of business to achieve their goals in providing innovative solutions and financial advice, working collaboratively with a personal touch. So Ben, maybe just to get us started, why don't you tell us a bit about your background and how you found your way to Ad Valorem?
Yeah, of course. So I'll probably start with my university degree. So bear with me, it's not a long-winded story, but it makes sense towards the end. So I went to university a long time ago, longer than I care to admit, and did accountancy for management. Now, the first 2 years were common business years, so I did a lot of strategy across the board and then specialised in accountancy. Went and worked in industry in between my university at Aston University in the UK, and then essentially moved to London as an accounts and audit trainee many years ago. Had the opportunity to move, funny enough, to Milton Keynes in a top 20 firm as accounts and audit. I'm sure, as all the listeners will appreciate, the longer you stay in accounts and audit, the more you become audit and less accounts. And as time goes on, my clients grew and grew and grew, and I wasn't working with business owners. I started to feel that disconnect, and ended up deciding to take a bit of a risky move and jump into the compliance and non-audit. And that's where I ended up at Ad Valorem. So practice, accounts manager, working with my own team and my own client portfolio.
Lovely, stunning stuff. Very interesting story. Just with regards to Ad Valorem specifically, the practice offers a variety of cloud packages from simple to custom. If a business owner is looking at your website, how would they know which plan would suit their needs?
Yes, I think accountancy packages getting quite common, or more and more common. There's always add-ons to make sure we tailor it to each individual client. The way I kind of see the initial free packages is we've got simple, standard, premium. A simple one is we're working towards a year-end accounts and self-assessment tax returns. So that's very much where the focus is. Standard, we've got the quarterly VAT returns, so our focus is more on a quarterly basis with clients. And obviously premiums are a little bit more extra touch, becoming that the way I describe it is you become that finance guy that they can rely on you. You're almost part of their team. And then we've got these kind of cloud packages, essentially our management accounts add-ons. So whether it's purely quarterly management accounts, financial plans, cash flow forecasts, up to attending board meetings. So they're the kind of additional aspects to it.
Okay, stunning. Thank you for sharing that. I do believe that you are quite the avid swimmer. You enjoy swimming. And I could exhaust those puns and metaphors today. I'm going to try not to. But in a sea of accounting practices, how does Ad Valorem differentiate yourselves from the competitors?
Oh, I love the puns. You got me there. We could spend all day talking about something. In terms of differentiating against other firms, there's so many great firms out there, especially in the from an industry perspective. I believe what we do really well is we have a overall service line. Our R&D team are very specialized. R&D is a really hard sector at the moment in the UK market, through to tax advisory, and they're highly respected in the industry. So I won't big my colleagues up too much because I'll get a lot of stick for it later on. And then I suppose unusually, we have a stand at the major UK exhibitions, so Countex, etc. And for a practice firm, that's pretty unusual. So we like to think we're highly regarded. And from my side as clients, it's treating it. It's quite simply. I like to think we treat people as people. When there's a win, a client will message me and say, "I've just won a really big contract." We're talking about it for months on end, and that's the kind of relationship that I think is quite special.
Yeah, and I suppose that feeling of knowing that you've done a great job and a job well done really does count in your favor. And I suppose word of mouth travels quite quickly as well. So that just gains some momentum with getting Ad Valorem's name out there. So that's incredible. Thank you. We're going to move on to collaboration, and speaking about collaboration within the firm specifically. And, everyone knows that collaboration is quite important in any organization. You want your staff to be working well with one another and as efficiently as possible so that you can make as much money as possible. It's not always easy to do, and I know Ad Valorem's website does mention quite a bit about the importance of collaboration. How would you say the organization or the firm fosters a culture of collaboration internally?
Yeah, I love these questions. Culture's a really difficult one, and I think every year that goes by in management, the more and more I really appreciate how difficult culture is to maintain and shape, and how easily it can kind of falter. So that probably comes down to the key bit of collaboration. It's very much having the base culture, so getting the basics right. So we have weekly one-to-ones, weekly kind of pod team meetings, and then a monthly company meeting. So it's basics, sharing information, what is each department up to, and then we've got 2 offices, and getting the culture right in multiple offices is so tough. And I go across to both offices on a weekly basis just to kind of help with that process, because the worst thing you want is one office that's got its completely own culture.
Absolutely.
They don't collaborate with anyone else, and they just do their own thing.
That must be particularly difficult, having the culture similar across two different locations. Must be quite tricky. But yeah, kudos to you guys. It sounds like you're getting it right, or at least making a concerted effort to ensure that collaboration is top of mind for everyone on a daily basis. What strategies would you guys say you use to encourage teamwork and knowledge sharing amongst your staff?
Yeah, it's something we've spent a lot of time kind of trying to figure out. So the best way to describe it is we kind of look at it from a client workflow, or a client flow, really. So at what point do I say, right, accounts are done, next department, off you go? What are the expectations? What do they want? What do we want? And having that chat and saying, right, okay, you'll need this for R&D, let's say. We'll do that when we do our bit, because it makes logical sense, and we can hand it over. And then, tax advisory in the last month or so have been doing presentations to the rest of the team, just say, hey, this is what we can do. Look out for these bits and shout, and we can do our thing and help your clients out.
So it really is a whole team effort to bring this to life, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Awesome. So I know we touched on differentiation a bit earlier, but what would you say Ad Valorem does better than your competitors? Or is there something specifically that stands out that you're really proud of in terms of collaborative efforts internally?
Yeah, I think we haven't been afraid to take risks in the past. So we were quite early adopters in cloud accounting itself. I think we were one of the early adopters with SIFT in the UK way back when, and we kind of try and continue to do that because we know there's so many amazing other firms out there we speak to who are really motivated to do the same. So we've got a innovation hub. So I sit on the team on the Innovation Hub. It's cross department, and we're looking at all the exciting, cool stuff you can do with AI, etc. I think that's quite a unique feature for a lot of firms.
Absolutely, yeah.
And ultimately, it's always nice to win awards. We're really gracious. We've won the Zero Award quite recently, which is obviously a team effort. And it keeps us motivated for next time as well.
Absolutely. Huge feather in your cap. Congratulations for your recipients of that reward, or award rather. Do you have a specific example of a certain project where it really did take the entire village to collaborate on and deliver on?
Yeah, so it came out of the Innovation Hub. So obviously we had different departments involved. We were looking at kind of how can we actually have scalable management accounts, and I kind of led that team. It was a cross departmental team as well. And I think it was quite interesting. We used kind of personality traits.
Okay.
To kind of shape, say, okay, Ben's quite good at project manager mode. Someone else is good at completer, finisher. Ben's rubbish at that, so we need someone involved. And that was a really good project. It was quite interesting to see how different departments, different personalities would kind of mix in to get the job done.
Yeah, everyone has something specific or unique to offer the team, I suppose, right? With that being said, I suppose an inevitability of collaboration is conflict, right? So how would you say you manage that effectively within the organization?
Yeah, so conflict is an interesting one. Everyone hates it. I absolutely more try to avoid getting into that position where possible. And I think ultimately it's just having the clear goals to say, right, if it's a project, this is a project leader. These are the goals we want to achieve. How do we get there? People got different views. You welcome them, and you say, right, let's kind of dish out and hear both sides of each project, and go from there. But ultimately, if you're working for the same goal, you can kind of get to the end result.
Absolutely. And I think, as you were saying earlier, understanding the different types of personality styles gives you some insights on how those or how others think and what makes them tick. So it kind of allows you to relate a bit better to them internally, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. Really interesting because I've never really experienced that before. Obviously, I've done personality traits in the past, but to actually put it into play was a fascinating experience. It worked really well.
Yeah. Absolutely. I've also done one or two in the past, and it's weird how these things don't really change over time. You kind of expect them to when you're a teenager or in your early 20s. But 33 and mine's still pretty stable. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Awesome. We're going to talk about collaboration with clients specifically, and I'm going to read this part specifically because it is a definition. So ad valorem means in proportion to the estimated value of goods or transactions concerned. So the question is, how do you ensure that this proportion is fair to yourselves while providing your clients with the best value possible?
Yeah, and this is the really difficult bit for us as accountants. Getting the balance is really tough, especially when you need to have that conversation. You don't really ever want to have that conversation. And I think for me, it comes down to kind of ultimately, we have to review the time spent on a job overall for a client. There's no getting away with it. Not so much monitoring the the staff, but the client itself. Is it normally there's something behind the scenes as well, communicating with the client, saying, what's going on, you need us on a monthly basis, quite a lot. Do you need any help bookkeeping? Is the business struggling? Do you need cash flow forecast? What's going on? Because normally, business owners are busy people. I like to think we're cool and exciting, but a business owner probably doesn't want to speak to us over the phone for the sake of it.
Yeah. So it is important that you're checking the temperature and checking in with the clients on a regular basis.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. So how would you say you collaborate with clients to ensure that their needs are fully met and understood?
Yeah, so it's all about communication. I mean, I'm not afraid to have a face-to-face meeting. I enjoy them, or even just picking up the phone and saying, hey, we're doing your VAT return this month or this quarter rather, and how's it all going? What's going on? And those conversations, you find out loads of information. You get to know the business better, and you get to kind of preempt, what are they trying to achieve? How can we help you, help us, kind of thing.
Epic. What role does client collaboration play in developing customized solutions for their specific challenges?
Yeah, I think working with the clients, as long as we know what direction they want to go and what their overall goal is, are they looking to really grow fast and hard and exit in 5 years? Let's just say, then obviously we can tell them, tips and tricks around that. We can support them best. Maybe they need to implement management accounts. Maybe they need an FD. And if they tell us what they need, and that's the art form of actually getting them to tell you.
Absolutely, yeah. If they're not going to tell you, you're not going to know, right?
Yeah, exactly. Then obviously we can implement those kind of things, and it can be as simple as quarterly meeting.
Yeah, so I suppose it is important that the client is quite open and upfront about what their expectations are from the outset, so that you can, have their best interests in mind when you are doing their books and reporting and thinking about ways in which you can make them even more money, right?
Yeah, exactly that. So we want them to do well, because then in turn we'll do well. They grow, we'll grow, and it's always nice to see one of your clients grow and grow and grow and live their dreams and ambitions, as they say.
It's like watching a kid grow up, I suppose, or a plant. Maybe a plant's a better metaphor, image there.
Sometimes the kids, some of them.
Awesome. Can you share a time with me when involving a client in the decision-making process led to a better outcome?
Yeah, I think ultimately you do come to decision points where there's two options, whether it's accounts or actually, bookkeeping. We've had a case where they really want to do the bookkeeping themselves. They're really motivated to do so. They're just terrible at it, and we come to a crossroads where we're saying, look, we've helped you out a second time to get you up and running. No, actually, it's going to cost you the same as if we did it for you. Are you really enjoying it? Is it really valuable to you? Or actually, do you want us to do it because it's costing you more money for us to fix it? Just having that chat. I think generally, for clients, they have to trust their accountant. And if you say, okay, these are your two options, I recommend this way, generally you like to think they trust their accountant. And
absolutely, and have your best interests at heart.
Yeah, 100%. Otherwise, it's not their expertise. I can't tell a marketing manager how to market, do their marketing. It'll be horrendous.
Yeah, absolutely. Which leads me to my next question. How do you balance maintaining professional boundaries while encouraging open collaboration with clients?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think for me, it's knowing the client. So there'll be some clients where, for example, I go see them. I need to be in a shirt, tie. Well, maybe not a tie, but a suit. Whereas others, they really couldn't care less what I'm wearing. T-shirt and jeans does the job. And for those types of clients, they see you as their friend or the finance guy, and they just rely on you that you know everything about their business, and whatever you say they will trust. So it's knowing the client is quite important, and then go from there.
Yeah, and generating that rapport, I suppose, so that you feel, or they feel comfortable having a very open conversation with you.
Yeah, I think treating everyone as people is key. I think these days, especially business owners, the barriers, maybe since COVID, seem to be a lot lower. So you can have those discussions, say, right, this is the accounts, this is how much tax you got to pay. No, there's nothing magic can do, I'm afraid. This is it. And then you can talk about this is the business of going forwards. And as a person, rather than as this is what the computer says, here's your accounts.
It's coming from a trusted advisor rather than some machine that's just spitting out a figure at them, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. So the next topic that we're going to speak about is innovation. And I know that you mentioned innovation was one of Ad Valorem's, or is one of Ad Valorem's key differentiators. And it does go hand in hand in, with regards to collaboration. So the question is, what does innovation mean to you, and why do you think it's important for accounting practices and business? I know that you mentioned the Innovation Hub earlier, and that's something that definitely sets Ad Valorem apart from your competitors. But maybe just a bit more insights into that question.
Yeah, so I know I spoke to Nicky and Nigel, our MDs, not too long ago about this, and the way they described it, I can't put it better, but we felt we took the risks early on. We're early adopters with software, cloud accounting in the past, and other firms are doing really well. They're catching up, doing Xero, etc. And if we don't continue to innovate and adjust, then obviously, are we that special as what we perhaps think we are? And the Innovation Hub at the moment is really exciting. I think part of it is trying to keep me and one of my other colleagues grounded, because we're so excited about all the possibilities. We're in a really exciting space for accountancy. AI is here. There's so much stuff that can come out in the future. We're seeing AI integrated into a lot of our softwares. Obviously, SIF's got the AI function, which is fantastic, and actually that area is quite fast moving. So we're really excited on that side.
Amazing. Obviously, innovation and innovative technologies and systems does take a bit of investment from the firm. My question is, what innovative practices has your firm adopted to improve client services specifically?
Yeah, I think we're doing a lot of training, especially at the moment, on the softwares we do. And one of the big projects, I guess it is a big project, is actually we're looking at the app stack itself. Now, everyone can say we've got this fantastic app stack, and the reality is it's just this lovely image on the PC. Whereas in reality it's Xero plus maybe data capture software. And that's fantastic. There's so much more to do. So we've been issuing trials for management accounts, for example, because what we found is actually a lot of businesses the smaller businesses don't do management accounts, basically, and they don't. We take it for granted. Everyone knows what a balance sheet means and a P&L means. Whereas if you're running a small business, accountancy is not your thing. Otherwise, you'll be an accountant. And actually educating clients is quite important. And just telling the basics, like this is how you actually read a balance sheet. This is what a cash flow forecast actually means. This is how you actually use it. Absolutely.
And what it means for your business as well.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
So I suppose training is quite important, as you mentioned. And I know that we've also chatted quite a bit about the Innovation Hub at Ad Valorem. how does this kind of incorporate into the identification of industry trends and incorporating new technologies into your daily operations?
Yeah, in terms of kind of implementing it, I think once we know there's a new software or function slash process that we want to do, you know, the basics is you get the training in, but actually sitting down, picking, you know, if everyone picks 5-10 clients each on this new software or new process and starts with that, you've got those kind of small baby steps that add up over time. So I think that's really good way to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, with the implementation of new and innovative systems and policies and procedures, how do you ensure that the team are actually adopting these new tools and using them on a regular basis? Because, I mean, of course, you wouldn't want that investment in the new tech or the time that you've taken to kind of implement this new process in business to kind of fall flat.
Yeah. So we have champions. So it's I know it's nothing groundbreaking. Quite a few firms use champions, but we'll have a certain champion for a certain software. Ideally, we trust our staff, and I guess the warning signs if you never see someone come up to you, right, and they never ask about how do I run this new report, then obviously that's a little bit of a warning sign. But generally speaking, I think once we've done it a couple of times with all the staff, they're just excited as I am and the rest of the team, and it kind of snowballs.
It's certainly a change management process, isn't it? It's making sure that not only is everyone adopting it, but also on the same page as to the benefits of the new process or system or technology that you are trying to implement in your practice.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because ultimately you do need to monitor it, and it's very easy to see the latest, brand new piece of kit and think this looks fantastic. I'll put it into the company and off we go. We have quite a lot of good reporting functions internally, so we can monitor that if we need to and say, right, okay, in theory this software will speed up getting the accounts in quicker or getting the bookkeeping done, or as it's automated, should save us time. We can have a look at that and on a grander picture say, right, is that achieving the actual ambitions? And kind of make a decision. Do we need more software? Do we need to tweak our approach? Or is it actually not gaining us the benefit we thought of? Because there's probably more surprises and other benefits it brings than intended.
Absolutely. And I suppose at the end of the day, it's all about measuring that ROI, right? And is this actually adding value to my firm and the daily operations, or is it more of a headache than a benefit and a value add to the clients?
Yeah, definitely. In the end, it comes down to, are we going to implement it? What benefit are we going to get from it? I'd love to implement all the softwares in the world. We'd be paying absolute fortune, and it's never. The fewer the software, the better, really. And you tend to see you get that return on your investment for sure.
Absolutely. Agreed. Chatting about encouraging innovation and continuous improvement, how would you say Ad Valorem encourages creative thinking and innovation amongst team members?
Yeah, so obviously we've got the Innovation Hub, which is fantastic, but actually it comes back to culture and people. I like to think what we've seen is employees are quite safe in suggesting improvements. Ultimately these days I don't get into the core bookkeeping as much as I once did, and I know that my colleagues who are doing the day-to-day bookkeeping will have a far better knowledge on what is actually going on, and if there's something they think they can save themselves time on, then they can say, Ben, look, I'm doing the bookkeeping, I found this new thing, it's saving me so much time. Let's roll it out to the initial pod team, so the small team, and then if it's working, obviously we can have a chat and say, look, we're doing this, it's working really well for us, why doesn't the rest of the team have a go, see what they think? So freedom to kind of make suggestions and I guess culture of, you're not going to get absolutely shot down to say, no, what you're doing, get back to work. We don't care. It's let's try it. Let's give it a go. See what happens.
I think that, yeah, I mean, of course, but I think that's great that you have that culture of openness where different staff members can come up to senior leadership and say, I found this solution for a particular problem that I'm experiencing on a daily basis. Let's give it a shot, and have a committee that's going to evaluate it objectively, and then take it from there. It's a yes or a no. It's a yes because, or it's a no because it's too expensive. It doesn't do what we need. There's better solutions, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, 100%. I think one of the things I didn't mention is most client managers have their own portfolio clients to a certain degree. Obviously, some will have more than others. Some will kind of, the more newer staff or trainees may help them with my clients. We kind of see them as a shared client portfolio. They know that, okay, these are my clients. I can look after them. I know the client. And they know they can try stuff or give unique kind of suggestions for that client. So I think that works quite well, having that interaction and responsibility to say, this is your client, you're looking after them. Obviously, we'll support you, but see what you want to do. If there is any improvements to do, then let's go for it.
Fantastic. Obviously, fostering and maintaining this culture of openness and innovation and collaboration can take years and years and years to get right. And, you can try your utmost to get it right and fall flat. What would your recommendations be to other accounting practices and firms in general, I suppose, who struggle with innovation and collaboration internally? What would your recommendations be? What small steps, actionable steps could they take today to kind of nurture collaboration and innovation in their respective organizations?
So for innovation, I think one of my personal tip is having the meetings. If you're doing a team meeting away, get a different location. I found has worked wonders. I'm in my study at home now. I know that as soon as I finish work, I'm kind of done for the day. I'm not going to think of anything exciting. Quite a lot of people go for walks, so we're in the countryside. So we, sometimes if you're really stuck, we can just go for a walk and be like, right, let's go and think outside the box. You can't be creative, in my view, at your day-to-day desk. It's just so hard.
You need to change the gears a bit.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, culture is I would say culture is still underrated in some degree, as a lot of the problems accountancy firms and other service-based industries have. Culture probably is one of the key issues when it comes down to it, and it's so easy. It's really hard, and it takes time to build culture up. And we're not perfect, but it's so easy for culture to get destroyed. And I suppose part of being a manager is monitoring the culture and taking action as quickly as you can. If you've got something for whatever reasons taking a drain on your overall culture and vibe, as it were, in your company, that you need to get it as quick as you can, and that's so tough.
Yeah, absolutely. Before the element poisons the well, I suppose, and kind of erodes all of the hard work that's been done over the past few years.
Yeah, exactly that. Equally, obviously, once you get your culture right, you can just feel. I'm sure those of our listeners will know when you get culture right, everyone feels like you're having the best best time ever. Everyone's happy. Everyone. What can I say to my staff is, and I'm sure Nick and Nigel won't mind too much, is if we all won the lottery, none of us will be here tomorrow, and that's okay. But we're not going to win the lottery. No one's won the lottery yet in our office.
Not yet.
You're not yet. To retire anyway, and then I'll get myself in real trouble if they do. But all we can do is, treat each other as people and try and have as much fun as possible. If we win the lottery, we'll be on a beach somewhere, but we're not. So we need to make, work life as fun and enjoyable as possible and treat each other as people.
Yeah, you want to wake up in the morning not dreading having to go to work, right?
100%.
Cool. So definitely attributable to Ad Valorem's success is innovation and collaboration. Is there anything else that really comes to mind? Obviously, culture, really big part of that as well. Is there anything that really comes to mind other than those three that you can say is, the reason for Ad Valorem's success?
Yeah, I think we've been quite agile. I know I mentioned a couple of times I've been early adopters, but I think we don't have a fixed structure in a sense of I can't go speak to, I have to go through the right channels to get the message up to the top. If there's something really urgent and the right people aren't there, everyone trusts me to speak to whoever I need to, or vice versa, someone else. And it's being agile, but and I think leadership at top as well. So Nikki and Nigel, they've been doing quite a lot of talks recently, context, etc. And yeah, it was great to see. But it kind of gives you that kind of bit of motivation to say, right, okay, they know what they're talking about. I mean, I like to think I know a lot about R&D. Never been in R&D myself. I went to one of our talks on R&D and I felt like I knew absolutely nothing and got put completely in my place.
Humbled.
Yeah, humbled. So I think there's some really good kind of areas. So R&D is highly respected. They do a fantastic job. You have to be brave in the R&D industry at the moment. So they're doing very well.
Amazing. Well done. Maybe some parting thoughts. What would you like listeners to take away from this episode today, Ben?
Yeah, so I was trying to think of something really clever and smart to say, and I think what I've came to is culture and people is key, and it's so easy to say, but it's so hard to keep in the forefront and actually implement. So treating customers, so our clients and our staff as people is key, and everything else kind of falls into place.
Here. Ben Brophy, everyone, a senior client manager at Ad Valorem. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Ben, really appreciate your insights and your time today.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
Cool. Keep well and we'll chat soon. All the best.
Take care.
Cheers. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Beyond Insights podcast.
Please like and subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to right now.
And please share with any of your colleagues or friends or family members that you think might benefit from listening to this podcast.
That's all from us. Until next time, see you then.
Bye.